Yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
Here we have Rick Finn. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hi, how you going?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
I'm good, Felix Andrew.
People always don't know what to call me. They're like, I've got the curse.
Yeah, I'm like, you have like two first names. I'm just going to call them out.
Yeah.
In no particular order.
It's the curse of the two first names. So people are like, is your name Andrew or Felix? And because my photography is by Felix,
Yes.
they're just like, oh, hey, Felix. I was like, that's all right. That's fine. That's all right.
So what is your first name?
Andrew.
Noted.
Definitely Andrew. But you're a musician.
Yes, I am.
Amazing. How long have you been making music?
Officially, I've been making music for like 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? Like, is your family like musically sound?
None that I know of. I recently actually just asked my parents if they were into any creative, if they had any creative flow. Yeah, my mom knew how to like sew a little bit, but she just did it for business purposes.
Yeah.
At one point in her life, and yeah, my dad just really listens to good like tracks, like really classical music and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, from those two, that's why I got at my taste in music and fashion and all that stuff that goes with it. But what actually got me into music was, I don't know, it's just something that resonated with me when I hear a lyric or I hear the beat of a sound, because I dance as well. So music is kind of like...
I've seen you dance. The boy got moves. He can shake his hips.
Yeah, not like the Congolese though, because those Congolese men, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. But yeah.
It's a lot of practice.
Yeah, straight up.
And a lot of... Oh my God, what are you doing? God damn, let me just turn this off. That's
good.
That's never happened.
Yo, this was the first time for it. Yo, tune in, let's go.
Definitely tune in. So, all right, let's just go back.
Yeah.
How long you been in Australia for?
7 years.
7 years. Where were you beforehand?
I was in Nigeria, Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
And born there?
Yeah. I've lived in Nigeria
there
all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only been overseas a couple of times for holiday with the family, but that's about it.
Right. So why Australia?
Ooh. Why Australia?
I'm fascinated.
Why Australia?
Out of all the countries in the world, you picked the biggest island in the world, Australia, which is so isolated from everywhere else.
Yeah, this is true. It is even like, I feel there's some places in Nigeria that feel like Australia is not real.
Yeah.
I feel it's such a scam.
I'm sure that there are lots of places around the world that feel the same way.
Yeah, definitely, because it's far away from most places.
It's isolated.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of the reason why Australia.
Oh, you wanted to get away.
Yes, kind of
Why?
get away.
What are you running from?
Oh.
Who's after you?
I was running.
Who am I? Who are the new followers I'm going to get on the podcast? Where's this Rick Finn? Where's he live? Australia, mate.
Yeah, Australia.
You got to watch out
right
for
here.
watch out for the crocodiles.
Yeah, I was running away from the life I would have settled for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was only joking then. I wasn't really thinking that you were running away from something.
I know,
but I understand.
I had to like bring it down because it's like, I had to like use that.
I understand that you reach a certain age where you're like, this isn't the life I want, and like you have to make hard decisions to kind of make the move.
Yeah.
I mean, look, in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
when I was 21, I moved from Perth to Melbourne by myself
Big move.
in one suitcase. I had my best mate that lived here. I met him in Perth, and it took him 6 months for him to convince me to come over. And the thing that got me was the girls are better here in Melbourne.
A 21-year-old kid. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, you gotta experience it, you know.
yeah. So I blame him that I've been here now for 24 years.
Wow.
And
24
he
years.
passed away 3 years ago.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he's still around. Like he's like guiding me and
Definitely.
stuff like that. It's kind of
Definitely.
freaky.
No, that's good.
Mm.
It's good you have that, man. That cover show.
So it would have been a massive like acceptance for like your family like back home to realize that you're going to be moving to this like mysterious place called Australia. Had you been here before?
No.
Oh fuck.
I haven't really heard about Australia until I was in my the visa advisor that was helping me with my visa.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they just like throw a dart on a map and go, "Oh, that's where you're going"?
Oh yeah, I was trying to ask them like, where's the farthest place that if you want to see me, people have to like, you have to let me know. You can't just like rock up like, because Nigeria is close to UK.
Yeah.
So it's like a 6 hours flight.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
So, you know, so there's so many people, so many families there, and like I know a lot of people in this countries. Like UK, US, and the places I know I was gonna go at a time, I was gonna meet a lot of similar people that I was trying to
do the same things.
Yeah, so I wanted somewhere far, somewhere I could like kind of like start afresh in a weird way.
Yeah, I totally get that because you don't want to be going somewhere where there's a lot of the same people.
Yeah,
and then you kind of like it doesn't give you an opportunity to like stand out from everybody else.
Yeah,
not to say that that's always required, but like I think you have to have some sort of originality.
Yeah,
I mean
that's spot on.
Yeah.
That's what Australia did to me because it made me find myself. You know how it's weird how
he found himself.
Thanks Australia.
I'm getting used to the buttons. Okay.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, it made me find, because it's funny how when people always say, "Oh, I went to a different country and then I found myself." I didn't really understand that concept until I experienced it.
Until it happened to you. Until you got hit by a kangaroo.
Ooh, boom. Like, where are you? Or the culture shock. No, it's crazy.
Tell me about the culture shock. Tell me about how you kind of like deal with that.
The culture shock was crazy when I came to Australia.
Was it like instant? Because you're like, what the hell? Like, where am I? Like, trying to work things out. Like, what are these fucking trains that are on the road?
Yeah, there were some that were instant. There was some that were like, they had to like,
sink in,
marinate. And I'm like, whoa, it just hits me from.
Give me an example of an instant one and then something that had to marinate.
Okay, so.
Just to give our listeners a bit of an example, because I know that there's a particular somebody that's going to be doing exactly what he's done. Yeah. But anyway.
So when it came to expenses, like purchasing something, right?
Yeah.
For example, I came to Australia. I was like, I hope my mom and dad are not hearing this. But when I used to smoke a cigarette, I tried to get a cigarette from like one of the tobacco stores.
Yep.
And the price was like, damn, 4 times more pricey than it used to. Like, no, 4 times is a lie. It's incredibly like huge difference.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is crazy to me. And just the fact that families, like children with your families, um, they don't have this. How do I put it? So they don't have this understanding of my or like from where I'm from, there's this understanding like my child can stay with me for as long as they want to,
Yeah.
as far as they, whenever they can get their shit together and whatever. But here is like if you're not able, you just like they just kick you out of the house, like go get your stuff together. Which is kind of different, but I get where like different perspectives of things are coming from.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting to see like the difference in
I guess
the food.
Yeah, like just back to the family thing,
Yeah.
like, because it's a different because there's different culture.
Yeah.
There's going to be like cultural differences versus like economic differences and like all this type of stuff. But,
oh yeah, definitely. There's so much difference in just like seeing how even just like body gestures, because in my country we're more like together, like body, like always like my body, like you can hug your bro, like
yeah,
and all that, like
I still hug my bros
exactly, yeah, you should
with my clothes on though.
Yeah, and I realized that sometimes when having conversations with people is like almost like you have to give a distance.
Yeah.
Simple things like that.
I mean, look, I did I was hugging my bros so much that every time they go out, they're like, "No touching, Andrew, no touching." So I'm not wearing a t-shirt, but I made
t-shirt uphill.
Yeah, I made t-shirts called with no touching.
I know
it's
the no
so
touching
funny.
t-shirt.
Yeah,
that's actually a cool concept though.
It's
like
cool.
it's obvious enough, but like just so people get it.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you love about being here?
What I love about being here is the freedom to be what you want to be, the freedom to create. I love how there's a lot of opportunities, and there are so many ways you can like get those opportunities, even from the government. Even you have like grants, or so they're actually intentional about the people in the country to an extent, and I can see that, and that's part of the difference between being in Australia and being in Nigeria. It's because like Nigeria is a very beautiful place, but with the kind of government we have or people in power, it can rub off as somewhere you don't want to be, which is kind of sad because I've lived all my life in Nigeria. I know the potential my country has, but it can't be developed with with what's going on with the leadership. Yeah,
I think that's a really good point about, like, to start off with, you were talking about how just the opportunity to be more creative and like be yourself.
Yeah.
I think Australia's definitely had a lot more of an injection into the creative space. It can have even more, but like that's slowly kind of, making its waves.
Yeah.
And it's all about expression, right? Like how you want to express yourself and how that resonates with other people.
Exactly.
And, I think like one of the biggest things, obviously, we went through this pandemic. People are still kind of, like working through it. But like for me, what it allowed me to do is like internalize things and be stronger on what my creative, expression is.
Yeah.
So that's, I think that's really good.
We're kind of on the same page around that time, because that's where I tuned in my own energy into as well.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful because I could see the opportunities in just adapting to situations that is above your control.
Fuck. That's so important to adapt to things out of your control.
Yeah.
Because if you don't adapt, you get left behind.
Yeah, exactly.
We've entered the hour of Rick Finn, and he's just dropped a bombshell.
Oh, so big, man. So boomy.
What type of music would you say you really enjoy producing?
Music that speaks to my heartbeat. And what that means is, I don't know, it has to do with drums. So it can't be any type of genre that has to do with something elevating, something. Because why drums? Because drums are cultural to me, is native to where I'm from. And that plays, I feel that plays a deeper role in my physique than and I think, so it's like, I feel it, and that's kind of the music that I try to, place myself with, or like write to, or like, do stuff with. Of late, it has been more Afro infused genre as well. Yeah.
Like Afro beats?
Yeah, Afro beats. Yeah. And kind of like boom bap as well.
Oh, I've never heard of boom bap. Where did boom bap come from?
Boom bap is kind of like old school. It's kind of like an instrumental from old school, like 90s. Where it's like I think like when hip hop was kind of like tuning out into more experimental. Where they had to, now it's like you can mix like electronic music with hip hop.
Yeah.
Or drum and bass. So
Yeah.
I think that's where boom bap was kind of bettered from like when it came beyond blues and jazz. Yeah.
Do you think the evolution of music will get to a point where it like stops, or it'll just continue going? Because with what you just said just then about like R&B and like old school rap, and then collaborating and like mixing in with like electronic music, there would have been some people when it first started, they're like, that's not right. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of like evolved, and it just kept changing.
Yeah.
And then we got like, I don't know how you feel about this reference, but like Little Nas singing a country song,
Yeah.
and like basically having a censored thing over his like, video clip.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, who would have thought that we would get to that?
Yeah, music is it's a way of expressing. And unfortunately, now I won't say unfortunately, but we have so many people expressing music in different ways.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way.
Different ways that you'll either like or not like.
Exactly. Thanks for that. Exactly. But I feel like in terms of like the evolution of music is going to be more of going back to the original basics of sound, or like, when you just like make a sound, like claps or whatever, like grinding your teeth, or what's this when
Great.
your tongue with your tongue?
Like a click
Click your tongue.
Yeah.
Things like that. And then bring it back to maybe some other version of soul or blues or jazz, or because damn, like music can be created from any sound.
Yeah.
And that is already in itself is infinite. in a way, because it's like there's so many things you can create from one particular sound, and there's like a billion sounds out there. So like it's gonna be like fashion where it's like in a cycle. So
Yeah.
like but like there's some things that are forever, like jeans. You know, there might be baggy jeans, there might be skinny jeans, but jeans is kind of like
There's definitely no skinny jeans here. I cannot wear skinny jeans. Bro, I got the Thunders. The Thunders from down under.
the guns.
Look. When I go jean shopping,
Yeah.
that's like a 4-hour mission. And I've tried on like 70 pairs just to find one. And then when
that one that suits, that one that fits.
and then when I find it, boom, I'm buying 3 pairs.
Yeah, because it's like a rare occasion.
It's rare. Yeah, I'm like, nah. When that whole skinny jean thing came out, I was like, what's going on? My calves are too big. My calves are too big for these skinny jeans, bro.
Yeah, skinny jeans. Damn, they were too tight because it's like
It's too tight.
I won't lie. Yeah, I rocked it because I'm someone who I express myself and I try to like see everything, right?
I can tell you would get away with skinny jeans. I can't get away with skinny jeans.
Yeah, but I rocked it. I wasn't really feeling it, man, because it was too uncomfortable.
Too much
and clothing
compression.
is about feeling comfortable. So it's like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been rocking. I don't have them on today, but I've been wearing anti-auto pants, cargo pants.
Anti-auto,
yeah.
Wait,
and
what is that?
they're just
Like big cargo
that's just
pants?
yeah,
Yeah.
like a brand.
Yeah.
But
okay.
like the thing is, like with the style that I wear, the crotch is like down here, and I'm like, like, whatever. But I can't. I worked out I cannot wear them when I go traveling.
Why is that?
When I can't wear them when I go on an airplane because they've got like metal things all over.
Oh.
I can't take my pants off, and
Yeah.
I always get like patted down.
Damn. Yeah. You can't even fly with it. Like, say you're not wearing it, using your luggage.
Yeah.
It's that same thing will still happen.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't wear it when I went to New Zealand, and interestingly, I was wearing my no touching T-shirt,
Right.
and the guy didn't pat me down.
Oh, really?
Well, it was clear. I said no touching.
No touching, yeah.
Yeah.
That is actually cool.
Yeah. But then I recently, just this week, came back from Sydney, and goddamn, they just like want to touch me.
Wait, you weren't? I guess you weren't wearing the T-shirt.
No, I wasn't wearing the
that's,
T-shirt. Nah. But I think it was my watch.
Oh yeah.
I was like, God damn.
No.
But yeah,
Things like that happen.
Look, I think you might be right. Like, because music is like fashion; it'll go through cycles.
Yeah.
And like, it'll all come back. I like the idea of going back to the fundamentals, like the foundations.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on like how quickly that happens,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It might take more time.
Yeah, and the fact that music's always going to be around because sounds are always around, and like there's there was a study that was done around the music that you listen to when you were like 17.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you hear that music, it brings back the memories
Oh, yeah.
of like that time,
Yeah.
like how good it was or like, turmoil or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because like I believe we all operate off a vibration.
Yep.
And when you're 17, 18, I think you've reached like a mature vibration. And then when you hear that music, it like resonates with you so much. It imprints.
Tap into it.
Yeah, imprints in your brain and in your memory.
That's very spot on.
Yeah.
because that's how it works.
Yeah.
And that's why we have music that stick to your head, that is on replay, cause and music that so music is very deep in its sense of it can be very manipulative. It can be very it's intentional, obviously,
Yeah.
but it can be very like specified or specific
Yeah.
in its intent, and that has to do with the frequency of the music, and that's how it gets into your vibration or into your person. And say, for example, there's like, I'll say R&B or like kind of like soul music is
Like Boys to Men.
yes.
How did I know you were talking about Boys to Men? Soul music. Love music.
Yeah, yeah. That's like that deals with the kind of vibration. I forgot the numbers of the frequency is on,
Yeah.
but apparently it taps into that part of your lower chakra that has to do with the I don't even know the chakra as well. I didn't come with my facts today.
If only I had a guy that could like bring it up on Google. Goddamn, I haven't reached that level yet.
No,
Soon-
we'll
soon
get
enough,
there.
soon
We'll
enough.
get there. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I get
yeah.
what you mean though, how that music taps into that chakra,
Yeah.
because it's all about that kind of like deep in your like pelvic area.
Yes, yeah, and then it then intunes you to like, oh, be with a girl or a guy, and just ooh,
Be with a person.
thank you very much. Be with a person.
I mean, you could be with a blow up doll, but still, like whatever floats your boat.
Oh, facts.
Facts.
Simplicity isn't simple anymore. But
Oh shit.
let's not talk about.
Simplicity is not. That needs to be on a fucking t-shirt.
Simplicity isn't simple anymore. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because we as human beings, we try to complicate the simplest things. And that has to do with it's deep on so many levels, because why we complicate things is it has to do with our emotions, it has to do with our egos, it has to do with our perception of things, it has to do with our programming, that our core. Because there are people who can just be in this room right now, like Andrew and Rick Fean, and you tell them about something, that thing you tell them would not have any impact on their lives, because they kind of know who they are and they know their surroundings. But there are people you tell that same thing to, and you've hit so many nerves. You've started a new war. Like, it's basically what I'm trying to say is,
You push the buttons.
yeah, you push the buttons,
Either good
and-
buttons or bad buttons.
Yeah, exactly. And they react to it, which is fair, but at the same time, like, we already know what world we are in, and we know our mission, and we know like things are here to distract us. So it's more like, how do we stop ourselves from complicating simple things to let go?
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
It's a problem with being a one-man band. You're like all this technology, trying to make sure everything works.
Yeah.
I totally get I totally get what you're saying. Like, I think we try to complicate things because our brain goes, surely it can't be that simple. And then we complicate it, and then ego gets in the way, and then feelings get in the way, and then it's like jealousy and like envy and like greed and like all the 7 sins, you know, and it's like, oh, I just want to be like Rick Finn. What can I do? You know, I'm going to like follow him around or like listen to this podcast that he's on or like wait for him outside his bushes at his house. And then when he comes home, I'm going to sit there and like watch him all day long. You know, it's like, bro, like you need to get a life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like do something yourself.
Yeah. Distract yourself.
Stop following me around. I mean, listen to the podcast by all means.
Yeah.
Follow as many as much as you can. But like, you know, just create yourself.
Create yourself.
Like spread love, not hate. Like following, stalking, whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But Rick Finn's just so cool. I just want to be like him.
You can be. You can be as cool as me because in your own way, you know? That's the beauty of life. To the stalker out there, just be you know?
Just embrace those stalker vibes.
Just be you without the stalking, you know?
Just
you.
be without the stalking.
Yeah, create yourself, you know. Those
Just
things
be
that you
a talking or a store.
Ooh, kins. Skins.
Yeah. It's I think it's hard. It's hard because like we're in a time now which is so great. Like there's so much opportunity to create and like to do things.
Yep.
I believe sometimes people get clouded in their own mind as to what to do.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like too many options.
Just overwhelming.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then you have like analysis paralysis.
Ooh. That's the killer.
Because you're like looking at everything. It's like, oh, there's this, oh, there's this. I mean, that's how I feel every morning because I'm like, I got so much stuff to do. But like, you know, I just go to the gym first.
Yep. To clear the head.
Clear the head, get it over and done with.
Yeah. One step at a time.
Yeah.
Like my song Day by Day that I made the other day.
Yeah. Definitely one step at a time.
Yeah.
And then once you clear your head, then you can go and do anything else.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that first, because there's this thing that's going around or whatever. So basically, whatever you wake up in the morning with, whatever you do, the first thing, that first dopamine that you take in the morning, be it breathing in and out, be it going to the gym, be it stretching, be it jerking off, be it scrolling through your phone, whatever
Coffee.
you know, tilts your boat. Be it coffee. Be it smoking a joint. Be it smoking a
in the morning.
wake and bake.
Wake and bake. Listening to the crickets.
Yeah. So whatever you do, that's what your brain is going to stay on throughout the day. It's going to want that same stimuli all through the day. So if you're productive, if you're active, it wants to stay activated. It wants to get things done. If it stays over wobbling over social media, it wants more feeds. It wants more scroll. It wants more, you know, trends. So whatever you feed your brain in the morning becomes the juice of the day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
All right, it's that button. Yeah, like there was a time I was getting up and doing ice baths.
Ooh.
I was doing an ice bath before I went to the gym. And I was like, man, the dopamine hit when you do that.
It's like out of the roof, man.
Yeah, like your skin is just on fire.
Yeah,
like
literally
having a party.
True.
Yeah.
It's almost the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Of what it should feel like.
Yeah.
You feel so cold that your body's burning. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And like I was doing, like they say that you only had to do like 3 minutes, but I think the most I ever did was like 8 minutes.
Wow.
And I was just like,
You would have been numb coming out of that.
yeah, but you can train so much harder at the gym.
Right.
So much harder.
Because your body's in that like survival mode. Is that?
Yeah, I think because you've put yourself into survival mode,
Yeah.
and because your core is cooler,
Right.
you can train harder.
Mm-hmm.
And it obviously has something to do with the anti-inflammatory effect of a cold plunge and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think where the like secret sauce is definitely in those shock proteins that your body creates. Like your liver creates a shock protein, and it's that shock protein that like provides this like everlasting dopamine hit for the whole day, because you're basically creating 400% dopamine.
Damn.
Yeah, than what you would from like cocaine.
That's crazy. It's funny how we are the high that we need.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
It's the decisions and the actions that you make and do that then either, I believe, raise your vibration or drop your vibration.
Facts.
So you might as well raise your can't even fucking say it, bro. You might as well raise your vibration.
Yep. 100. Ta-da!
I mean, look, I said to a guy at the gym today, because we were doing like tricep pull downs. He was on one side and I was on the other side.
Yeah.
And I went round to him and I said, "Hey, you ready for your next set?" Because we'll like look each other in the eyes as we're like pushing down.
Yeah.
We like laughed and stuff, and he's like,
That's a good banter though.
"Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that.
yeah." And I still don't know his name, but anyway, it was funny. Like I like to have fun with everything that I'm doing, and like so I'll talk to anybody.
As it should be.
Yeah, and he was saying because he goes, "Oh, you know, hey, how you going?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, I was in Sydney, blah blah, but like trying to like get back into it. It's hard." He's like, "Yeah, but you just have to show up." He's like, "You just have to show up." He's like, "I'm running late and I didn't get to do 2 exercises, but I'll come back tomorrow and I'll do them."
Yeah.
You know, like you just have to do it.
Just
Don't worry about how you feel. You just have to do it. You know? It's the showing up that I think helps your brain go, this isn't that hard. Like we can continue on.
I love when you are doing things when you don't like to do it. Like when you're like, "Oh, I cannot. This is not what I'm supposed to like. I just want to not do this." Or you just have that push of like, "All right, fine, I'm gonna do it." You're tired, you're grumbling, you're doing it, but there's that turning point that's like, "Whoa, I'm actually doing the things that I wouldn't be able to do, but because I'm consistent to this, because this is becoming, this is becoming my." It just that switch just makes you feel like, wow, I'm on top of the world.
It's the consistency.
It's the consistency.
Yeah, that big C word. I think I did a funny video that I had some like self-raising flour on my nose. It's like consistency. I'll show you that video after.
Cool.
I think it got taken down, but anyway, I've still got it on my phone. So how do you talk me through your process of like making music? Like what inspires you? How do you go, "Oh, I'm going to write something about this today"? Or like, do you?
The most random things inspire me.
Oh, really?
Like the breeze might touch me in some part of my face in the morning. I'm like, I like the feeling of this. I'm gonna, let's get something going. I feel amazing today. You know what? this bed that just passed over is making me feel some type of way. I feel your connection, so let's like put
Is
it
it-
into
is it-
paper and pen.
Is that what you say to the wind? It's
Yes,
like, I feel your connection, wind.
yes.
I love the way that you're touching me.
I talk to everything in the universe.
Do you?
Yeah, I try to.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because everything has a vibrational field, so I try to stay connected. Yeah. So things like that. For instance, I was writing a track before coming here actually today,
Uh-huh.
and
It It wasn't about me, was it?
it was a diss track for Andrew Felix.
Damn! That's got to be a...
I love that song, bro. Like you, I don't know if you can cuss here, but yeah, I want to say something. Anyways,
Yeah, you can fucking cuss.
oh, okay.
I don't care.
You didn't fuck up now. That's what that sounds
Yeah, I
like.
didn't fuck up now. Yeah. You know what's even funnier?
What?
Is if I forget to
Yeah.
put the sound file in the production.
Right. Oh,
'Cause
and people
if-
hearing this?
If I forget to put the sound file in, they'll just hear us like laughing and stuff like this. I did
That'd be a good edit, though.
well last year I did a podcast with 3 of my mates, right?
Yeah.
So there were 4 of us here.
Mm-hmm.
And I released it and everything, and then like a couple of days later, I get a phone call from one of them, and he says, "Hey, I'm just listening to our podcast, but like, what happened at like 1 hour and 35 minutes?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he goes, "I think you were pressing the buttons because we were just laughing for like 10 minutes."
Oh, but it wasn't recorded on the.
I forgot to put the sound file in.
Ah.
So it was very funny.
Well, people were wondering like, what are they laughing at?
I
though?
still haven't changed it. I need to go back and I'll have a look at it actually. I'll go back and have a look and see like at what point what point was I supposed to like push the button or, you know. Yeah, because I think it was definitely like a 10-minute thing where we were just like laughing.
reacting to the sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyday normal things can inspire you.
Yeah.
And then how do you
Normal and different emotions too.
Yeah, what's your process of like coming up with like the song or the music? Like do you dedicate a certain number of hours a week, or like are you one of those people who have like voice recordings on your phone that you then have to go back to?
All of the above.
Everything.
Yeah. So I write sometimes just off my head,
Yeah.
and I'm just writing what I'm feeling. I'm downloading it into my phone or a piece of paper. Yes, I still write on the pen. I still write on the paper, sorry, because it's still, you know, it feels, I feel connected that way. Yeah. And then after writing all these things, downloading them down on the pen, on the paper, I then know, okay, what is this whole thing talking about? It's talking about this vibe. Okay, that's the name. Boom. You know, and then maybe I find a beat that kind of like resonate with that vibe that I'm on. Or sometimes I'm listening to this beat, like I said, it's vibrating with me, my heartbeat. There's drums are like kicking, you know. And I'm like, yo, I just get my phone, put on record, like start freestyling. You know, just like, yeah, just go crazy on the beat.
Yeah.
And then I have something, I have a draft. Yeah, so just I write. There's sometimes I'm waiting on a queue or somewhere or whatever, and maybe someone drops a coffee on the floor, and the coffee's like aligning and coming straight to me. I've written something on that already. So I kind of like, oh, okay, damn, like this person, I don't know what this person's day is like, but this is where my my awareness and their awareness clashes together. So that's a song about thinking, say, for example, like no one, like everyone is their own awareness. Like, for example, if I'm the only one in this room right now, the whole world is on pause. When I come out, everyone starts to function and do things. And that's how every individual is. So me and that person just clashed that moment to like see our different sides. And that was their way of telling me to look beyond what I can see. And yeah, just random shit like that. I can just form something crazy.
Have you always been like this? Like this self-aware?
Unconsciously, yes. I would say unconsciously, yeah. I have always been.
But not consciously.
Okay, I'll put it in a way like I've always been aware of
things.
When I was growing up, when I was still young, I didn't know what that meant. So I just took it as maybe that's part of my quality or that's part of my character as a person. Because I always thought like there's some things that I couldn't say or there are ways I couldn't act because it might be weird to the next person. But then I realized that might have been my uniqueness, or that would have been what makes me stand out. So I stopped ignoring it and started embracing it, and then I became more aware. And yeah.
What were some of the things that you did to embrace it?
Some of the things were actually life changing, or life forcing me to see these things happen. They're like deciding factors in my life. The fact that there's those period in times where you had to make choices that actually either makes you or breaks you. Like, for example, 4 years ago, no, I think 5 years now, 5 years ago, while I was still trying to like find my place in Australia, I was living with my ex at the time. I was in uni. I was doing my master's. I'm doing a master right now. This is my second master's.
Second master's?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
hey, like, I'll let you continue the story, but like, what was your first master's?
I did my master's in commerce.
Okay.
I majored in human resource.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's the second master's?
This is MBA, Masters of Business.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically
that's madness.
I know, it's crazy.
So 5 years ago,
yeah,
you were living with your ex.
Yeah, I was with my ex. I was studying. I was working. I think I was working at a bar. It's called Bar Nuno. It's in memory just coming. You know, when sometimes you just thinking it just keeps coming. It's in I think Fitzroy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how my life changed that period was, my ex wanted to break up. School was telling me to fuck off back to your country because you're not paying financial fees and work. You're not giving my dollar, so you got to go back to.
Bro, just calm down.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
and work. Work was a bit shady. The way I worked was a bit shady, so they were not paying me right, and I didn't really know how to, cause then it was cash in hand, and cause I had to work like particular hours as a student, and so I had to do cash in hand to pay the school fees that I wanted to throw me out of the country for, and my ex was kicking me out. So I was like, in this point where I was like, what exactly are you doing here, bro? Like nothing.
What is going on, bro?
Nothing is working out for you. But there was this like little hope. It was just like, this is part of the process, bro. Just fucking own it and just go. If it sounded stupid, it sounded ridiculous. It sounded like how how can you come in right now when things are this way?
Yeah.
But I
When-
slowly held on to it.
When you say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous if other people hear it. But in your own head, you're like, this sounds like pretty good.
Yep.
Like
I held
I'm
on to
gonna,
that.
Make that my dream.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Because like with my photography,
Mm.
like I've been doing photography for 12 years. And
That's wow. That's a long time.
yeah, it's fucking it's fuck. I got way too much equipment. Anyway, and like I've come across people who, like, I've tried to explain to them like how I do what I do,
Yeah.
or like what takes over my body when
Mhm.
I pick up that camera.
Mm.
And the words that I try to explain it with, they just don't understand.
Yep.
Like they just sorry. They understand, they just can't comprehend.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they're like, surely you're like whatever. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, it's a job.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm here to do a job, and
Yeah.
it's here about like the art. It's here about, you know, kind of showing models and showing clients like a different side to themselves, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And then I have had people where I've like tried to like bring them on the journey as well, you
Mhm.
know? But like because my train is so far ahead and it's moving so fast, like it's hard for them to catch up, you know?
Mm.
So it's like, if you ain't going to catch this train with me, like I ain't stopping. Like this bitch is going, and it's going fast,
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
you know? And then like, look, there's there's that analogy of a rocket ship, right?
Mm.
You know, when Elon Musk or like NASA or Jeff Bezos now shoots a fucking rocket ship up into the sky, what's the first thing that comes off?
I don't know, something comes off. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the blasters, right?
Yeah.
They're the
yeah,
biggest
blasters,
things.
yeah.
They're the biggest things that are attached to the rocket. They come off.
Yeah.
They don't keep going. And so in
Mm.
life, sometimes you will have your biggest supporters that don't necessarily
That's deep.
stay for the ride.
That's a deep analogy. I
Yeah.
like that. Yes, sir. That's what's up.
And that's it's a hard pill to swallow, because I don't know, like I feel as if as I become more driven and more focused, and one for a better word, more successful, my circle keeps getting smaller and smaller. And that's, you know,
The price you pay.
yeah, the price you pay for art.
Damn. The price you pay for art, the price you pay for being you, for
Yeah, for being the
actually
authentic you.
yeah, keep it going.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I get it. It gives you emotional intelligence, and there has to be like balance in this, because damn, it's painful. You know, There's a
It
lot
does
of
give
pain.
you emotional intelligence,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
The depth and the understanding as to how you go about doing what you do.
Mm.
Like, and it's okay for people not to understand how you do it,
Mm-hmm.
but like, don't hate on it.
Yeah,
Just enjoy it.
exactly.
Just like, people should just love it, you know?
That's how I feel about, not to like take the topic out of it, but that's how I feel about. Ooh, this is big on religion, because I've met a lot of people who, I grew up Catholic.
Mm.
I've met people who are Muslims, and they're the most wholesome people I've met in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like, why is,
Yeah.
why they telling me like this person, why they trying to bring a line across this?
Yeah, a divide.
A divide, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So so what I'm trying to say is, people have different belief systems.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
that's exactly because I love that. That's one of the beautiful things about life, is like, we all have different belief systems, and we can still connect. regardless of our differences.
Mm.
Because sometimes like that different ways can actually bring us to a place that is the same.
Yeah.
But we just like finding different paths towards that same goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What I don't like is when someone tries to push their own belief systems onto you.
Yes.
I'm like, what? Like, I'm allowed to believe what I believe, and
Yeah.
you believe what you believe.
It
'Cause,
gives
like,
it gives a feeling of like insecurity of like
Yeah.
in terms of like, oh, I need you to believe this so I can stand on business.
Yeah.
Because it's more like if I believe what I believe and you're telling me like what you believe is shit, I'm like, I know what I believe.
yeah,
I know because I know. So you're not shaking me
yeah,
towards someone trying to be like, like help me believe this thing.
yeah. And oh God, I was gonna say so many things then, but yeah, it's kind of like, when Mormons go around knocking on doors,
Oh yeah.
try to get you to like join the brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's like, no, thank you. See you later. You can see them coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against Mormons, but like, you're allowed to believe what you want to believe. And in actual fact, you believe in the same thing. There's a God or a number of gods, and they will ask you to do certain things and live a certain way. That's okay. You do that.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you are open to receive new information, it's up to you to be able to make your own judgment call on what you believe. That's all I'm saying. It's like, allow me to have the control over whether or not I believe that or not. And if I don't believe it, goodbye.
If the world was that way, it would be a better place. Damn, we on point today. I'm loving this.
We've entered the awakening.
Ooh. Rude awakening.
Oh, fuck! Not the rude awakening. Jesus Christ! We went straight from wholesome to like fucking nasty.
Yeah. You gotta be able to adapt to either ways. Yin and yang.
Oh. In order to appreciate the light, you have to go through the dark.
100%, man. Damn.
Oh shit. No, I just wanted to make a comment about, because you were talking before about being aware and how like you are unconsciously aware, and then you made that decision to be consciously aware and accept the things that you were saying and be yourself.
Yeah.
I was kind of similar in the sense that like I was very emotional as a child, like super emotional, and I never really understood why up until probably about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I've got a theory in that I was emotional because I was taking on a lot of my surroundings' energy.
Yeah.
And like my dad wasn't a great dad, and like like abusive and all this type of stuff, and it was alcohol driven and all of that. But anyway, 10 years ago I worked out that and I knew that I had this ability, but 10 years ago I worked on developing it and actually using it to like my advantage.
Yeah.
And I can see people's auras. And so I developed it to work out that, okay, like because I can see people's auras, I can then impact like the outcome of a conversation.
Yeah.
The ability to direct a conversation down a certain path, or the ability to create a vibe in a photo shoot, and like, let's just see if that clicks over. Bro, I'm not having much luck with technology today.
Oh no.
Why is that not recording? Yeah, so I can, I guess, impact and influence the energy in a photo shoot to get the right type of photos.
Yeah.
And I've just been able to develop it over a 10-year period. And, you know, I think it's interesting because in the last, so probably about 3 years ago, I got this random message from somebody. They're like, "Oh, really like your style of photography. Like you really captured Girl Next Door."
Mm.
And I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Girl Next Door, you know, Girl Next Door." And I'm like, "I still don't know what that means." And then they're like, "You know, like when you're like 16, 17 and like you see the girl next door and it gives you that kind of like warm, fuzzy feeling."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I do know that feeling." And then I thought to myself, what is it about my style or my approach that allows me to do that?
Mm.
And it's, I create a safe space for my models and my clients to like let their guard down. When you let your guard down, you become more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's that vulnerability that I guess is that purity of the girl next door kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That your audience can actually feel as well as
Yeah.
the models themselves.
Yeah, as well as the models. That's
Yeah.
right.
So basically, you're a vibe bender.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
I'm a vibe bender.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm a light worker as well.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone only told me that. After the cacao ceremony.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you remember the cacao ceremony?
Of course. I remember the
Bro,
cacao ceremony.
I had a
yeah.
fucking out-of-body experience.
That was beautiful. That was amazing.
The girl that was sitting next to me, she was going to hit me. She goes, "You were snoring." I was like, that's because I was in a fucking another
You
realm.
were out of
I was gone.
Yeah, I think we had a brief conversation. You telling me of
Yeah.
how you had a out of body experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
I'm like, man.
That was very beautiful though. Like that feeling. Actually, that feeling it gave me is what the conversation we had previously about how this year has been going about doing.
Yeah.
That feeling has kept me going since then because I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
this whatever space or field this is, I'm on for it.
Yeah.
So it kept me like,
100%. So, things that have happened since then for me, I bought some 100% grade ceremonial cacao, and I've been having that every day.
nice.
And on the 1st of February, I'm going to a hypnosis past life regression therapy session. I'm going to learn about my past lives.
I would love to know what your experience is because it's something I've been trying to gig into.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be quite vocal about it. I'll let you know.
Damn.
I'm like, God damn,
big ups to you, bro.
I'm a fucking alien.
I know, right? Now, sometimes I feel like I'm an alien, though. I mean, obviously I'm not, but sometimes you just feel, but alien in the sense of like you were just doing things differently from others.
Well, so I met a model that I shot with, and she told me about a whole bunch of stuff, but like one of the things was like she was talking about star seeds.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to like understand. I was like, she goes, "You're a different star seed." And I'm like, is it kind of like this? Like old soul, new soul? She's like, yeah. She said it is. But there's a third element to it.
Mm.
It's old soul, new soul. I always used to think that I was an old soul. And I've come across old souls and I've come across new souls. But then she's like, but there's a third thing. Off-world soul. And she goes, you're an off-world soul because you've got secret powers. And I'm like, what is your secret power? That's powerful. That like hit me. It just like explained a lot. It explained a lot. And so that's why I'm doing this past life regression thing.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to tap into the whole of it.
Yeah.
So you've got that information of who you might be, and now it's time for you to like clearly see it, so you can have that full power and that full energy.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you said before about being a vibe bender.
Yeah.
Like I'm a timeline jumper.
Ooh.
I jump timelines.
That is crazy. Hold up.
Hold up.
Hey yo, okay, timeline jumper. Were you around 2012?
Yeah, I was here.
Okay. Have you heard of CERN?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah. So I never heard about CERN until I would say maybe 2017
Okay.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember from 2012 I started like accepting things for what they were. And that came from how my environment affected me.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was this change, or there was this like, it might be a boom or just a bang, but I could feel there was something around or whatever. That made me feel just different from what I was used to. I don't know how to really explain it. But then I heard about CERN, and I heard about what they did in 2012. That there was this rumor about the end of the world or whatever. But basically, I don't know if that's when the Mandela effect came from.
Yeah.
And like people started saying, they had like maybe a particular ring that you can never see anywhere else. They have like double of that at the same time. So like there was like a glitch in reality or something. So many things started popping up from that. But I didn't know about this. But 2012, I could feel there was something weird.
Well, they split the atom, didn't they?
Yes.
In 2012.
Yeah.
And that was the whole project of CERN and tapping into this infinite energy source.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think it's interesting. I definitely
think very interesting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know about you, but like, what's your take on like all these UFOs and things that are happening in the US? Yeah. Go. How do you feel?
I feel like right now, how recent it is, the things that are happening, there's more stories of UFOs right now. I feel like this has been ongoing for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And, they live among us. Some are in power, actually. Some of this different different entities that are not humanoids. That are humanoids. And of other forms as well. Shapeshifters or whatever. I feel like now that you're hearing more of it is because there's something happening globally that we are being distracted from actually focusing on. So they bring in like the UFOs and aliens to distract us. Because like when I started hearing these stories about you, I'm like, well, this is something I knew like a while ago. Like, but at the same time, there's so many conspiracy theories that I think the point of conspiracy theories is to confuse people so they believe nothing and everything. And kind of like divert them from their original authentic source. The pineal gland, things that make us hallucinate. We can naturally hallucinate or like see things and stuff, but we don't do that anymore because we have distractions. For example, our phones and technology is technology is actually black magic, but this is black magic, but in a way of technology is kind of like black magic, but not from this universe or like the source. Is alien technology. But we could have used that to our advantage. But then, because we're human beings and we like to complicate the simple things.
Oh shit! We've done full circle.
Yeah. We have now tapped into that realm of consciousness that feeds everyone in that like purgatory feud that we've created ourselves, instead of using it to, to level up, to align upwards. We are like just, I don't know, making a mess out of the whole thing.
I think you're right that technology is definitely there are some bits of technology that I absolutely love, and then there are some that I don't like. And it's always a case of like good versus evil, like some people can use it for good and some people can use it for evil, but then it's also about perspective as well, like your own situation. And I was listening to the second last Joe Rogan podcast. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he's the old dude, right? And he's talking about how he's a physicist. He's been a physicist his whole life, and he can explain consciousness. And he talks about when he first like meditated, he like went to a different place. And then he's just been running experiments to be able to quantify and explain what's happening. And one of the things that he said was that we all have the ability to tap into a collective consciousness, but our intellect gets in the way.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was listening to this. I was kind of trying to understand, and I think I get it, but it's kind of like because he said like in the Western world, and then he goes, well, everywhere's the Western world now. Like it's everywhere. Like why are we kidding ourselves, right? But like in the Western world, we put a higher value on intellect, on universities, on all of this. If you go to a good university and you get a good education, you're going to get a good job. That's what he was talking about. Like we put a high value on that, as opposed to a high value on understanding your feelings and understanding your body and tapping into this thing. And then he gave an example, right? And he goes, imagine you're like sitting there and you want to talk to Uncle Fred who's dead, right? You could sit there and meditate and be like, okay, I'm going to talk to Uncle Fred. I'm going to talk to Uncle Fred. But then your intellect comes in and he goes, I'm going to find him. And you don't actually talk to him at all. Because the intellect is taken over to try to control things. And I was like, damn, how true is that? Like when you meditate, there's so many things going on in your brain. You have to really try to learn how to like turn that shit off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, he sounded like it made sense what he was talking about.
Yeah. That is so interesting because like damn, meditation itself and what it does to the brain. It's damn, I forgot what I was supposed to talk about.
You were just meditating.
Because there was something I wanted to I wanted to like respond to from the what you were saying about the
Seeing people's auras, maybe, or like from consciousness, a collective consciousness.
Oh yeah, from the collective consciousness,
tapping into a collective.
Into it.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, yeah, you're talking about universities. That's the universities, and
we put
versus
the Western world puts a higher value on intellect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As opposed to understanding consciousness.
Yeah, and that is so true because like even so, this podcast is about origin story. And I'm someone who, before I get into anything fully or before I put myself into any situation that I know is deep, I try to see the origin of it so I can understand more about it and the purpose of it. So this is my second master's. I'm doing it because I have to be in this country. Yes, I'm doing things that align with what I want to do, like master's of business. I might start a business up, so I might as well have that knowledge. You know, so I'm using whatever the world is throwing to me to my advantage. But when you think about the origin of universities or intellect, having that intellect. So basically, university schools came up from a bunch of scholars who had like this. They had like a secret place they always go to have meetings about, you know, reading more, getting more knowledge, doing things or getting practices that will help them in all ways, like in mentally, physically. And they decided like, all right, we need to form a system or a way where we can tell people or like we can indulge people in these particular things. So they had to like bring out specifics from the general knowledge or from the things they call forbidden knowledge. Forbidden knowledge is having your fucking third eye open or knowing how to do that. Forbidden knowledge is healing yourself without having to fucking take any medicine. Or
is it like the forbidden fruit?
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's the one.
I do like what you said then about the forbidden knowledge. Like, there are certain things that you go through life not really understanding until you actually like experience it, and then you become, and then you like take on this information, take on the knowledge of doing things,
and then that knowledge makes sense,
and then that knowledge makes sense.
Okay,
yeah,
this is what this is what it means. Yeah. Like I said, I was always unconscious about things until I became like, okay, let me actually, because that's what changed my perspective about religion and Catholicism. Because I actually wanted to devote myself into it. I'm like, okay, my parents want us to go to church every Sunday.
Fuck that. Sorry.
It's so
Sorry.
funny because like, oh, my parents watching this and be like, hey, because they're like Nigerians, you know how
Fuck that. Sorry. The fuck going to church. No,
nah,
no.
for real. Oh damn. So I really wanted to go to church badly. I was like, I want to be a good person, and I realized, I don't think this is good for me.
You don't have to go to church to be a good person.
I realized that actually you go to
Yeah,
church
boy.
to
Shit,
be a
Rhonda.
terrible person. Because I went
To be a terrible person.
People in church, Catholic church to be precise, they feel like they're the number one church, right? They ignore all signs that shows like this is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And then they just like they're the most judgmental human beings you ever come across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting you bring this up. I shared a meme. I think it was like today or yesterday. And it was a guy that was like, he goes, I said something at church and I got kicked out. And he said something like, fuck the devil. And he got kicked out. And he's like,
I mean, why did he get kicked out though?
but isn't the whole thing for like, you know,
he's saying fuck the devil.
Yeah,
Isn't that what
like,
the priest is saying?
isn't that the person that we're supposed to hate?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's what he was
Yeah.
saying. I was like,
He just said it in
God.
a different way.
I'm like, man, that would so be me. Get kicked out of church.
Imagine a priest doing a sermon and just grabs a microphone, do a Kanye,
Oh,
go
yeah.
like, or like say something like "fuck the devil,"
Yeah.
like
Or
just
like,
drops the mics.
or like Diddy going, where's the baby oil?
Ooh,
Oh, I had to go there.
Damn.
No.
Nah, like churches will love that because they're gonna feast on that. You know how judgmental they are. And
Fuck,
everything.
I
They're
don't need any more hate mail, please. No more hate mail. Don't send me the hate mail. Just love. If you want to sponsor the podcast, by all means.
hit the mails.
No touching. Go to the website, buy your
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That was good. That was good. So yeah, like basically consciousness is pure, but when we put intentions into it, then we make it. When we put intentions into it, and we get people into that particular consciousness in the field of consciousness, then it becomes a cult in a way. It might be a good cult, it might be a bad cult.
It's a following.
It's a following. But consciousness done in a public way. Like now this podcast, you know, how we're like dissecting so many areas and giving people information that you can get anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, that is pure and is real, or in a way is understandable and it's powerful because
it's authentic.
Yeah, it's authentic. And no matter how you look at it or how you view it, it's going to come back as what it is. It's not going to change its form or anything.
That's also the reason why I don't do any research. Because everything that you hear and see on this podcast is my real reaction to things.
I love that. Authentic. That's good.
It's interesting, right? Because in a world where you can curate a lot of what you put online, and I think when you start out, you're like, oh, I really want to curate, or I want to look a certain way, or I want to be perceived a certain way, and yada, 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 like all this type of stuff. If it doesn't fit in with who you are, I think that's when like internal issues arise and like conflicts.
Yes.
But if you start off as just trying to be your authentic self, then anything that you create as a result of that will truly attract like the people around you that want to be around you. You know.
That's very true.
Mm.
That's very true, because someone told me something about the process of making an art, be it painting, be it music, is like that raw emotions you feel is the art. It's not the end process. It's not the end product. So it's the process of making it that is the art. That makes people go into it. That makes people see what, you know.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
Like I tell, like in my 12 years, like I've had photographers come to me and ask me for mentoring to coach them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll tell you everything that I know. I'll tell it to you. But until you work out what your style is, you'll never be a photographer like me.
Facts.
And don't try to be like me. Create your own style. And after 12 years, the thing that still drives me, regardless of the workload, regardless of the hours, regardless of the travel, regardless of the lack of sleep, is the journey. I love the process of making photos. The end result of having a great photo or having a great video is just the end result.
Yes.
I love the doing.
Exactly.
You know? And I think if you fall in love with the doing, it doesn't feel like work and it doesn't feel like you're wasting your time.
That is true. This is true. Yeah.
Like I remember sometimes I would be sitting at my desk for like hours. Hours would go past. And I'd just be like, where did the time go? But it's because you're like in the zone.
Yeah, you're in that zone.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're in the zone. Have you seen the movie Soul?
Who's it got in it?
It's like an animation.
Oh, yeah, I have.
About,
yeah,
this guy who died, he was trying to be like is he a pianist?
Yeah.
And he died, and so there's this place where they go to where they say they're in the zone. Yeah. Right? And
the characters are like four emotions.
Yes, so probably like a jazz player going like going like off, and it's just like, so as soon as they have that particular emotion, they're in the zone. Yeah. Right? Or someone singing and just going, just like freestyling and like eyes closed, like you're literally not even thinking of anything, just going like, just zoning. Yeah. Yeah. That point where you're zoning in is the point you're talking about right now. Yeah. So it's like that process, though, that thing becomes the art itself, the whole art. And it makes it interesting. It makes it interesting for the artists themselves, because you feel all the emotions in that particular process. You feel your impatience when you're trying to do something that has to do with patience, You feel your anger because of how passionate you are about particular things. But like understanding those things, understanding those emotions that you're feeling and putting into consideration will help you become better of that thing you're trying to create. The outcome. Because like, say for example, someone does a painting, a very emotional painting, or the person was in an emotional state whilst doing the painting, and they never let you know, they never told you. When the painting is out in display, you can actually really see the emotion in that person. You can see the rawness. If you're actually seeing it from the point of view of someone who is tuned in, you can see it like, wow, this is deeper than how it looks, or whatever. So I think that's how artists talk to their core-hard fans or their audience, or people who can resonate with them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I totally get it. It's you gotta love the journey. You gotta love the journey of creating the art and be happy with, the process of it,
Yeah.
and that's what I tell people is like, don't worry about what the photo looks like at the end. Like, yeah, it's okay to have like a goal or like a direction that you want to go, but it's okay to kind of like change and like ebb and flow with it.
Flexibility.
It's that ebb and flow that potentially could create even more beauty in what you're striving for.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, I just love it.
Yeah.
I just love art.
When I started making music or writing music, I always got overwhelmed.
This fucking thing. Fuck. I'm gonna fucking throw that. No, that's the expensive camera.
Oh no!
I think it's
we're not throwing it out.
I think it's that bad boy. It's just fucking not doing anything, man. Sorry.
No, that's so good.
You were saying something.
Yeah, when I started writing,
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with the fact that I had to write things that made sense. I had to be intentional about my writing because I started writing based off how I felt, right? Which is great. Which is a great way to start because it's like it's not about anyone else. It's about you expressing yourself in the best way you can. But then I wanted to be something. I wanted to mold that better. So I gave myself time. Okay, I have to write at least every day. Even though it's 2 sentences, 2 words, whatever the case might be, I have to put myself in that notion, in that like programming. And I remember how overwhelming it will be for me because like, damn, I'm not used to this.
I love writing. I hate writing. Did you ever write those things?
100%, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You push through.
Somehow, yeah, I did.
Somehow, you're an artist. Of course you're going to push through.
Fact. So like those things, so basically knowing I had to write every day was kind of like overwhelming, but I had to like push through because I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be more confident in my artistry, in how I am myself as Rick Fean, And I just had to do it every day. I just had to like, there's sometimes I'm just be there, the time frame for it. I'm just there like, almost like forcing myself into that habit. And now it's like, I can't wait to wake up to write or to listen to this beat and do a freestyle or to like, because it's like, that's how I feel. That's why now I can be in any given place or situation and I'm thinking of a bar to write on my phone or something because like that's my third process now. That's how I do things.
Well, it's like a muscle, right? Yeah. And how do you get better at using the muscle? You just keep using it, and you get the reps in.
Repetition is the father of learning.
Yeah, and when you get the reps in, and you get that consistency, you get the development. Yeah, you get the development of that art, that craft, that skill, to then push you further and make you better. Yeah.
And now you start saying things that align with that same art.
Yeah.
You start understanding the language. You're like, oh, wow, okay, this is what this means if I do it this way. Yeah. Or what if I tap it a little bit more? Oh, this is more significant to how I feel. Yeah. So now you've gone from generalizing to now specifying. Yeah. Into your what will make you unique at doing this particular thing that billions of people else do. Yeah. Yeah.
Your parents must be very proud of you. Shout out to mom and dad.
Yo, they're so proud of me, man. Like, it's crazy.
Fuck church.
You know how I feel fuck church, but I love see, honestly, I have no beef with
seriously. Shout out to mom and dad.
Shout out to mom
and dad.
No
profanity on that one.
Yeah, because like they kept it real, you know, like,
Yeah.
and they're always proud. Sometimes I feel bad for even telling the next person how lovely and how awesome my family dynamics is.
Fuck you.
No, because like I see other people and I see their struggles. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And my family is actually family oriented in the point like they can see someone struggling. I'm like, come be a part of this family, you know? Because that's what it's about. It's about having love and
Mr. and Mrs. Finn, can I come live at your house?
yeah. So it's like,
That's cool, man.
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I love churchgoers who can think outside the box because it's like it's interesting to see that, which is rare.
Yeah.
Because most people who go to church do not have the ability to think outside the box because it's scary. Jesus or God is going to strike you down if you actually fucking just think of thinking about a blasphemy of Jesus Christ.
If you just be open to receive new information, you can work out yourself. You know?
So I was telling the priest, this is like back when I was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When I became more like, I need to be in the church. So I need to understand the ways of the church.
Right.
I was speaking to a priest. So I was curious about, I've forgotten the sermon. It was a particular sermon that was a bit contradicting. So
They're all contradicting,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Tell me about it. So I wanted to get clarification, and I got a clarification that apparently I was the devil because he told me like
Oh, yeah.
the questions I hit him with was very disrespectful
Right.
because it wasn't godlike. But
Right.
I was just curious. I wanted to know like things, but obviously he didn't have the answers, and he didn't want to like think too much about what I asked. So he overreacted, and I'm like, maybe you should go for repentance and cleansing
Right.
because you have been touched by the devil for you
Right.
to ask these questions.
Right.
And that was the deciding factor. And you're like, all right, this motherfuckers are brainwashed.
Yeah. This is a real problem where you try to enforce a process on curiosity.
Yes.
Like, I guess that's one of the greatest things about the spawn of the internet is that information is readily available to us at our fingertips. Like,
You know how paranoid I am?
When they went to the moon, they had less computer power than what we have on our phone that we put in our pocket.
Fact. That's
Right?
true, though.
They had less computer power, right? And so
damn.
things have changed so fast and so quickly. There's no reason why you can't do something today.
Yeah.
You have all the answers.
Yeah.
I mean, look at ChatGPT.
Damn. That's true.
You know,
There's no excuse, actually.
there is no excuse for laziness and procrastination.
Yeah.
But I get it. I understand that people who are so devoted to their faith don't want to see outside that box. As I said earlier, that's okay. You stay over there.
Ignorance is bliss, and it bliss to the fullest.
Yeah.
I love that word. It's so tricky,
Yeah.
but it's so true.
Mm.
Because if you're ignorant to what you don't know, you're blissful. You're oblivious to that. So it's like, whoa, you're living your best life. You have no idea this other level is above you. You're on the peak. You know what I mean? So sometimes actually being someone who is conscious or open-minded, it can be a curse, but it's a blessing and a curse in a way. But I guess
I get
like
that. I get that.
how you tune it to your life makes it worth it.
Yeah. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Ooh, that is so true. Yes.
Because when you're uncomfortable, it means you're entering into another level.
Yes.
And that next level brings a whole new set of challenges, a whole new set of like obstacles, a whole new set of achievements and goals. But it's up to the individual to work out whether or not that's what they want to do. you know?
Right. Yes.
Like, take, for example, you deciding to move here from Nigeria, you wanted something new.
Yeah.
You knew that there was something, your purpose was something greater than what you
what I was settling for.
what you were settling for, or what you thought you had to settle for, right?
Yeah.
And so you entered into another level.
Mm-hmm.
It's the secret level that you have to for Super Mario Brothers, you know?
Yeah, true.
You get into that secret level, and then it opens up this whole new mushroom
adventure.
world, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, if only other people could see that.
Oh, you know how many times I've thought about that? Like, I try to explain it to people, but
Yeah.
like you said, if you can't go with me, you can't go with me. And it's like,
You can't go,
it's
you
sad.
can't bring them.
Yeah, because I don't want to go back down, you know?
Yeah.
I just came from that. I know what it is about. I've done the whole circle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so what's happening for the rest of the year for you?
Damn, shit.
Are you dropping some
excited.
EPs?
Yeah, so right now I'm
Boom!
actually, yes,
Shit, wrong button.
Bumble clock. Yeah. That's it. Rick Finn in the building. Phew. Let's go. Yes, sir. So this year is going to be so much crazy. It's getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. Like my man JID. Basically, I'm working on an EP right now.
Nice.
And it's fantastic because it's basically my life so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a collective of individual artists. We call ourselves On The Road. And this year we are going to come out in full blast in terms of like music videos, albums. We're gonna come out and show the world like who we are.
Mm.
So On The Road is basically a collective of individual artists, and we formed this group just basically to give artists resources or help people, come together to understand the art of making music, and then having that confidence within themselves to be an individual artist. So the point of it is for people who are upcomers to understand, to have an experience, and then use the experience to guide their journey as artists. This was formed by me and 4 of my friends, called Mika. That's the founding father, Mika, Lever, Elijah, Rick Fean, and Cass. We have friends, siblings who are also part of the On The Road, and is obviously based in Australia, Melbourne. I'm the only guy who had to come all the way from Nigeria to join this group.
You got to do what you got to do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, you know. You gotta be where you gotta be.
The things you got to do for the bread.
Oh, tell me about it, man. You gotta get the bread.
That sounds so exciting.
Bread. Yeah. So this year
exciting.
we're just going to do things creatively because we even have we have like vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
We have music videos coming out this year. We have singles. We have collaborations. We have ciphers. I'm actually going to be doing a cipher next week.
What's a cipher?
Oh, a cipher is, I love that. A cipher is... Ooh.
Is it an online thing?
What is a cipher?
What are you ciphering?
Oh, so cipher is basically when an artist or a musician, and a cipher in the music world,
Right.
yeah, is when a musician kind of like writes to a beat and talks about nothing really specific,
Right.
but just like showing your skills of, how to use your flows, your
Right.
your delivery, punchlines,
Right.
your double entendres,
Right.
just like kind of like a show of like.
And so is this happening live, or are you doing this online?
Okay, so this particular one will be done at a radio
On a radio
on
show?
a radio show.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's called 3CR Radio.
Okay.
It's kind of like a hip hop radio.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, I'll be doing that this Sunday. So basically, it's like I'm gonna be working with another member of UWO as well,
Right.
named Stasi, and yeah, we're just gonna be doing that cipher. Stasi just released a single and a video for that.
Yeah.
So like this year is like there's so many things going to happen in terms of not just even music, in terms of fashion. And I'm starting a collaboration with a friend for like want to start making like music, like dance content. I'm doing dance videos. He's Congolese. He's the one who can like wind the waist like he has no fucking bones and shit.
Boys to men style.
Boys to men style. I tell you.
Right down in that chakra.
Yeah. Yeah. And my lovely girlfriend, Ruth Raddy.
Shout out to Rid Ratty.
Shout out to Ruth Raddy. She actually kept me damn level headed. This like, you know.
Damn, girl.
She's transitioning. Yes, yes. Transitioning to this new year. She kept me, she kept me down. She kept me level headed. And it's amazing because she is an all-rounder creative. So from the arts to the poetry to everything in between. She's really, really good at her craft. So
that's cool.
She's been doing sewing for a while. And she's a model. And she's now working on her own collection. And I'm gonna be modeling for her in some of her collections. So it's like we collaborate in terms of like creative stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like she has an amazing voice. So I had to like put her on a song that I did.
Yeah.
And so we just help each other. We just support each other. So this year we're going to like go deep into it.
So important.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I don't think I've actually been. This is the first time I'm saying this out loud.
Exclusive.
This is an exclusive actually. I haven't been this excited for the start of a year since my life. Since the beginning of my life, basically.
Wow.
Which is crazy because I can't fight it.
Yeah, no.
You can't fight it.
Don't fight it.
No.
You can't fight the vibe.
You can't fight the vibe.
You just got to keep going.
I'm just like loving how far things have been and what I envision things to be like.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
I can see me actually being in the middle of that, trying to like bring those two realities together.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing, man. Like, looking back and telling myself like, wow, like I can't imagine it was this naive kid.
Yeah, like think about what you're going to be looking back at next year. When you look at this year, you'll be like, holy shit, did that actually happen? Like,
exactly.
How can I level up even more? And I'm sure you will. Because I think you've got that tenacity.
Yeah.
You've got that aura. You've got that drive,
Thanks. Yeah, I try to, man. I try to keep that because that's the only thing that makes me, my whole self. So I've experienced it and I've realized this is what I need to survive in this world that is ever changing and rapidly. This is my adaptational card. So I'm holding it tight because that's what makes me.
Don't hold it too tight. Give it to me.
I will try.
Just cut that bitch up and hand it over.
You got your own like little little magic going on.
I got too many things going on, but that's all good. Like I love it.
No, I'm never talking about your creative juice. I'm talking about your person. You have a spirit. You have a superpower.
Yeah. I think. I think I lost it a little bit last year, but I definitely have it back in like full force, like double strength. And like there's no stopping it now.
Yeah, sometimes we just lose track of the mojo. It just slips out.
Yeah. How can people find you?
I am on the grams, on the
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
My music page is RICKFEAN.
RICKFEAN.
Yes, Rick Finn.
Rick Finn.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll have that come up.
Awesome.
Well, I can't wait to see more things that come out of you for this year. And, I might listen to the Cypher this coming Sunday.
Nice. Yes, yes.
Find out what it's all about. But
I'll tell you more about it. I'll give you more links so you can find it. And
yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming along and sitting down. And
thanks for having me, Andrew Felix. This was really nice. I'll keep doing that.
Yeah. It's look, I'm just so thankful to people trust me to come and sit down and just have a chat for 2 hours. It's
same. I'm so thankful for someone actually entrusting this guy looks cool.
Yeah,
I want him on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of
I saw you perform and I was damn.
True, yeah.
I'm like, I need that boy on. How do we get him on?
I love
Jesus,
that. I love
it was
yeah. I read something one time and it says, rehearse, practice like you've never worn. Perform like you've never lost.
Yeah.
That saying changed my whole perception into, so when I'm going on stage, I'm obviously I get a bit anxious, at first, but when I get the mic and I'm on stage, I'm this is me, this is mine now. It's I embody Rick Fean. Yeah, and I'm yeah, let's get it. And
let's get it, boy.
Yeah. So it's just knowing when to bring in that particular energy or that particular person you want.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Again, thanks for coming along.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thanks for listening in, guys. Make sure you hit subscribe, that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. See ya.
Yes, sir. See ya. Take care.